So this is where in 1974 I'm bringing you the first part of Super Hylide or Hylide. As you check right there, I am now level 5. I exploit the XP, dirty XP trick in town. I also got some spells as well, at least for now. I got level 5. At least at this point in the journey, that's all you really need is 5, otherwise it will take too long. So as you know already, I am a bishop. Bishop is basically a magic class. The stats are pretty much above average, but it does take some time to get there because in the beginning the bishop is relatively weak. But it does have some potential, especially in the beginning, where its magic is better than most classes except the cleric, or the priest I should say. Once you reach level 5, you do become a bishop from the monk class, whereas your stats pretty much increase dramatically. So actually the first part I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to kill creatures. I'm actually going to need 2 things. First, I need some cash, and there is actually a hidden cache in the abandoned village just up ahead towards the west. It's also good to know too that there are good creatures in the game. See that green one there? Not the slime, but the one I just avoided. The good creatures you have to avoid because it actually it decreases your morality, and if it gets too low, then the people in the world, or in the city I should say, will basically stop talking to you, and when they actually don't give you any service, especially when you need to sleep. So in the Ferry Village, if you look on the left hand side there in the cave, that's where the sound test is, but I'm not going there. What I'm going to go is going between these bushes and get some good old cash. Just lying around, just waiting to be picked. And there you go, 10,000. Now, technically, you actually pretty much need the 10,000 because it will take too long to get some real cash in the game. Is because staying at the inn costs 1,000. And basically the creatures around here, they don't give that much. And sometimes when you defeat those yellow cannibals, I should say, now sometimes they drop a club, and the club is basically ranged around $250. But now I got the money. The second thing I need is called Eggman Exchanger. This basically helps a lot. You don't really need it, but however, in this game, if you didn't already, there is weight. Oh yeah, this is one old-time school RPG we're dealing with here. If you carry too much items, you'll get encumbered. And basically that slows your character dramatically as well as his fighting. And basically the money exchanger basically decreases the amount of money that you have, well, at least in bills wise, so that way your weight will decrease, whereas you can make more money. Now I got the 2 things. The next thing I have to do is I have to go up to this tower and go after the first boss, which is kind of simple, but the thing is, I think it takes a whole day just to get up there. Lucky me, going up there. Well, actually, before I even fight the boss, I have to do some little upgrading. First thing I have to do is get some armor. So I don't want to go up there naked, because if I go up there naked, the enemies up there will one-shot me. So I have to be careful what items I buy. Otherwise, I'll be overweight. Now I got my armor. What I have to do next is I'm going to have to buy some supplies. But then I have to first sell some items that I don't need. Now where's the club? I bought an arrow before, which is the upgrade of the sling. But technically it's a waste of armor, but because I'm a squishy class, the arrow will pretty much save my life. but if you notice there's ration of food. This is one of those games you actually need food to survive, otherwise you'll starve to death. So I'm going to buy a couple of ration of foods there. It's also interesting to know in this game here, you actually eat a couple times a day, I think between 7 and 1 p.m. and a.m. So I just need just enough for the tower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head out and see if the items I got right now will suffice, but no, I think I'll buy one more. I'll buy a shield. Let's get the extra armor class there. 2,000. That should be just it. So I got the arrow, the sheath, and leather armor. If I buy the chain, it's gonna be too heavy. So I got everything I need. We'll see how that goes. Alright, the tower I have to go to is called the Tower of Babel. There's a couple screens north. Along the way I'm going to kill some creatures just for the extra cash. And there it is. Now, when you first enter this tower, I'm going to have to admit though, the maze is semi-complicated at first. Luckily, you only have to go up here once. Now, there's 3 creatures on the first 2 floors that are friendly, but those blue ones you can kill because they're evil. We all know about evil creatures. You gotta kill them. And those are slimes, you can't touch them. Worst thing too is those blue flowers, what you call them. They actually have a projectile, which sucks. But once you get a little higher levels, their projectiles don't do any damage to you. And those bats, yep, they're friendly. Like you see there, those blue creatures almost one-shot me, so it's probably a good thing that I did buy the seal. Yeah, I think those blue flowers are called balu-bals, which doesn't matter to me because when I see them, they're dead, or I avoid them entirely if I'm low in health. And it's a good thing too that I do have a lot of magic points. That way I can cure myself. I could buy medicines, but they'll just wear me down, or at least weight-wise. Now while I'm going up here, I'm probably going to have to explain the spell system here because it's quite different than most RPGs. You have to buy them, but you don't buy them with your money. You actually buy them with your XP, which is the first for any game I recall. Because I am a monk or bishop class, I do have able to get all spells, but you probably won't be able to use them all. Some are practically useless. Now that before I go to the spell system, that treasure chest is actually a talisman, which basically doubles or increases the duration of spells that I cast. Very useful for me. So the spell system, the first spell, once you buy them for a few XP, is called Illusion. It basically just spins all monsters in the screen. It's practically useless. The antidote is curing poison. There are some places that you do get poison. The time, basically, it advances the system clock by 12 hours. Good if you want to get to a store. The cure, well, we know that already. The learn basically disarms any chests that are trapped. Again, there are some chests that are trapped, especially the chests that have useful items. And there's also the move, which is basically your teleport. Basically take any town that you visited that you slept in. So, and And you have to kneel down, so you have to press the B button for the Genesis controller to get at the treasure chest. And how uplifting that is to use the talisman. Now I skipped ahead a little here. I had to check and see what's above me, at least the maze-wise. Most at this point I usually head back to town and stock up, but I think I'll keep on going after I shove the slime. Thank you, Mr. Slime. You will be appreciated. Ow, ow, ow. So you just notice there, when it's time to eat, your ration goes down by 1, but you get some of your life back. Almost a cure spell. A pain, but... So what I have to do with this tower is basically I have to turn on the elevators, or elevator, so I can get to the top floor and get the boss. Now the orange things you see there, they're almost like its cousins, the blue ones. Of course, their projectiles curve a little, and those green things are the vampires. They're big and they're hard to avoid. Oops, went the wrong way there. You see there, it's kind of odd because you can't attack them, and of course they can't attack you on that way. And there's the elevator, but I can't use it yet. Those vampire creatures do take a lot of hits though, but luckily they only hurt you in melee range. This is also a good place to get your XP up, because you're going to need some levels in the next section of the game. Alright, we're at the last level, at least for enemies is concerned. And there's the elevator. There's also one extra enemy to be concerned about, and that's the Dark Eyes. They don't have melee range, but they do hurt. Luckily, they are very slow. They're also the best XP in this particular floor. And while I'm going through the floor there, again to the next level, I'll explain the rest of the spells for my character. The next is Sleep. Basically, this stops out enemies on the screen there. The Slow, of course we all know what that is, slows up all the enemies. There's also Defeat, and basically that hurts every character on the screen there. But however, you do not get any gold or any XP while defeated. The Flash, that's your light spell, that'll be useful later on. Weight, that basically increases the amount of items you can carry without being encumbered. And the last and not least is the Invincible, which basically makes you invincible for a little bit. They're of course very useful. Of course it does take some time to get those spells, because of course we did already, it doesn't use money, it uses XP. So this part here got a little, those guys almost got me there. The downfall is when I use that cure spell, I don't have any magic points left over to use the move, which allows me to whisk away from this tower. Switch the animation in this game is a little better, but you see while walking it's not that very smooth. But this is a 1990s game, so I can't complain. You just notice there the color changed. That's just saying it's sunset, because look at the time, it's reaching 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, now I turned it on the power. If I go with this little hole there, it takes me back to the second level, which is very close to the elevator, which I need to go up the tower. There's 198 and 199. You have to go back to the previous floors that you visited. It's also worth knowing too that when I was saying about time before, if you don't get any sleep, not only does your life go down a couple notches, or drains for that matter, your strength also depletes, which means that you can't defeat enemies. They'll just tickle your attacks. Here I was about to walk down because I don't got any magic points to continue, but since I'm already here, I might as well give it a try. I hope I get enough time to defeat the boss here. I'm gonna have to get a certain item off him to proceed to the next points in this game. I'm not quite sure if there's actually a time in this game. If you notice on the right hand side, there's day 2. You might have a year to play. I'm not before the game over. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure it really matters. But in any case, the boss is on the next floor there. And luckily too that I do have a ranged weapon because you definitely need it. It actually makes life a little easier. And here we go. As we see, he's almost dead. He has a familiar pattern. You have to get him while he turns away. There you go. And he is dead. That is main boss down number 1. And get the chest there. Of course, it's not trapped. He wouldn't dare put a trap inside the chest there. Now I get what's called Cloudstone, which allows me to walk on clouds, which allows me to get into a city, which has absolutely nothing to do with the game, or for that matter has nothing to do while going in there except for 2 main things. Well, in any case, I'm just finished riding the clouds. Now I'm in a little different section of the game here. You can also stock on equipment, but I can't because it's like almost 9:30, which means the shops will be closed. So what I'm going to do next is basically go to the next castle, which I have to drop from the sky, and get do what's called a water castle. King doesn't. The people here doesn't really say much. There's really no sense point attacking them because attacking the people doesn't really advance the story. So in the case, here I go, dropping down 100 meters and landing just fine. But as soon as you land, you're you are trapped. So you have to get what's called an ID to make the bridge appear. And also going back to the castle, which you need too. Without talking to the king, what he needs was called Dragon Fang because he needs their items. And there we got found a SEGA pack. Not really important, but it's nice to pick up anyway because we are indeed playing a game from SEGA. Now this little section, bottom left corner of the castle is where I need the ID. As mentioned before, I'll be coming back here to get a very necessity of an item. And to get the item, here is basically you have to walk on the floor and hear a sound, and you search and you get the ID number. Now probably the most pain in the butt part is that it's still nighttime, so I'm still on the clock. There's no rest points from what I know in the castle, so I have to walk home because I got no magic. I have no way of filling it up. Now to get to the next section later on, I need levels. And the reason is because I have been going to a graveyard and I need a high intelligence to read the inscriptions on the graveyard to enter the city in the next part of the game. So right now I'm only at level 5 and level 6, so I'm gonna later on have to go back to the tower and basically kill. So what I'm doing now is basically there's certain sections in the overworld, basically teleports you to different sections of the overworld. Basically I'm using that because I want to know where I'm at. And there's the friendly creature. Hello friendly creature, I wish I could kill you, but I can't. These people will be mad at me if I kill you. You can move, please. Time to tick-tock. And just a few screens over, I'll be going to the town. And also, first thing I'm going to do is basically go to an inn and get some food because I don't got any food rations left. That's a kicker. Now I can remember where the town's at. Town, where are you? There we go. And of course town's deserted because everybody's taking a nap at 2 o'clock AM. Not playing games, but there we go, 1,000. Got a lot of money anyway. So the next part, of course, I mentioned before, I'll be getting a lot of food, and also I will be doing a lot of power living. And I'll also be getting some spells. Alright then, so basically this is the end of part 1, and I'll see you in part 2.